Hello, Alex here from wpeagle.com. I wanted to create a quick video this morning on a question that I get asked quite a lot, which is all around search engine optimization, otherwise known as SEO. Now, this is a topic that is surrounded with a lot of misinformation. You hear lots of stories and tales and techniques and tricks and tips and all these kind of things, and it can get a little bit confusing as to what actually SEO is and what practical things you can do to get yourself ranked on Google and the other search engines. I like to break it down into 3 separate sections, and it's as simple as visibility, content, and reputation. And I'm going to go through each of those things right now. So the first thing is your visibility. And when I say visibility, that's how visible your website is to the search engine crawlers. The crawlers are little spidery, softwarey robot things that go around the internet and read all the web pages they come across and put them into the search engine index. So you obviously need to be highly visible to these search engine robots and make sure that they can read your site correctly. Now, the best way to do this if you're using WordPress is to install the Yoast WordPress SEO plugin, which I'll put a link to in the description. Now, with the Yoast plugin, you can basically optimize all the pages and posts on your website, and you can set up some other configuration aspects like a Google sitemap. I've done a video actually on this, taking you through step by step, so I'll put a little link up to that, or I'll put it up in the corner, so you can find that. And if you follow that out, you'll make sure that your website is very visible to search engines, including Google, and that they can find you and they can read everything on your website correctly. It basically comes down to putting the keywords that you want to rank for in the right places on your pages and posts, so that it's indexed in the correct way. Now, the second part, and possibly the most important part of SEO, is content. Now, content is basically creating stuff for your website. Google and search engines and people in general are not particularly interested in dull, stale old sites with a handful of pages about you and your services and not much else going on. These kind of sites are not going to rank well because they don't have anything to offer. So you need to create content for your website that encourages people to visit, encourages people to share it, and generally, gets you noticed and gets you ranked. The next great thing about creating content is that it broadens the number of keywords that you attract search traffic from. So if you have lots and lots of articles covering lots of different subjects around your particular, area of expertise, you're going to rank for lots and lots of different keywords around your area of expertise and therefore create a lot more traffic for your website. I found out of experience that every blog post or every piece of content that I create boosts my traffic at least by an extra few visits a day, and obviously the more I do, it starts to go up to an extra 10 visits a day, an extra 100 visits a day ultimately. So you've got to think that every piece of content that you create is going to bring in some extra visitors to your website. Now, when I say content, you're probably thinking, well, what actually can I create? Well, there's loads of things you can create. You can obviously create a simple blog post or an article. If you need inspiration on what to actually create, just start typing some words into Google. You've all seen the auto suggest feature of Google. Well, that's ideas for content. These are actually real searches that people are typing into Google right now. So why not write an article or blog post related to those searches so that they find you when people carry out these searches? Another idea for content is to find other people's content that you like and put it all together in one blog post on your site. So find your favourite articles about a certain thing or your favourite videos on a particular subject and list them all on your blog. You've got a piece of content. Another thing you can do, a bit like me, is you can fire your camera up and start creating some videos. Videos are a great piece of content because not only can you put them on your own site, you can put them on video sites such as YouTube, which gives you a lot more exposure and again drives more traffic to your website. It's not as hard as you think. You just need a little bit of confidence, a relatively decent camera. Hey, your phone's probably got a good enough camera, and a little bit of time and some ideas. Again, for ideas, why not just look around on YouTube, see what other people are doing and seeing if that inspires you to do something slightly different or just do it better. Now, the third part of SEO is reputation. Now, this does include link building, which I'm sure you've heard about, because basically Google counts up the number of links that are coming to your website and where those links are coming from, and then it has an idea of the reputation of your site. When you're building links, you do have to be careful and you do have to make sure that you're doing everything 100% ethically. And I find the best way to build links is, going back to number 2, is to create good content that gets shared and syndicated and linked to from other blogs and other places on the internet. So I think you'll find that if you create good content, and then obviously do use the tools like Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and Google Plus and all the other social networks to start sharing your content. If the content's good enough, it will then be reshared, retweeted, and all those kind of things that in turn builds your reputation, which Google can gauge from all these incoming links, and in turn ranks you higher on the search engine. The dog's just come in. Shall I say hello? Yeah, this dog has nothing to do with SEO. Do you like SEO? No. So that's the end of the video. I hope you found that useful. Just remember the 3 key areas. That's the visibility of your site, the content, and your reputation. And work on those 3 areas and your SEO will all start falling into place. If you want to know a bit more about the nuts and bolts, I've got some SEO videos within my channel on how to make sure that your WordPress is all set up from a technical side so that it's accessible by search engines and optimized and all that kind of stuff. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. That sounded a bit of like a beg, but yeah, you're a human, you can make your own mind up. If you like my stuff, please subscribe and like it, and I'll see you soon.